We're in Mexico. We're at Mayazul. You have 5 permit already in the week.
That's right.
If you had to pick one thing out that the guides are telling you that helps you target the permit, what would you say is the piece of information that they're giving you that's been most helpful?
That's a great question. And with no doubt, I would say the flying,
Yes.
the right fly.
Yeah.
After fishing the first 2 days with different fly patterns, and then getting to fish with guides that tied their own flies and know the bottoms where to match the fly,
Yep.
I can say that in a way, permit fishing has a lot to do with the right pattern. As with a lot of fisheries, no? A lot of fishing experiences.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I see is a lot of fly patterns, especially on permit fishing, and the flies that were the most useful for me were flies that were very simply
Very
tied,
plain.
Very
Not a lot of
plain.
fancy colors or
tan colors,
Yes.
good lead eyes, depending
Yes.
on the situation, because many times we fish here on flats that are somehow deep or have like 2-3 feet,
Yeah.
and you need the fly to things fast, and short legs, short rubber legs, not a lot of flashaboo or any material. That those were the flies that along this week were the best for sure.
Yeah.
And they make the difference. They made the difference.
Yeah.
And
Clearly, they've made a difference.
clearly they make the difference. And an angler with self-confidence casting a pattern that you know that works, especially with permit fishing, that's a lot.
Yeah. The thing that I've found most unique about this place is I've fished all over the world, and I've had assistants in the boat, but essentially the assistants that are helping the guides are, some of them are as good a guide as you might fish with anywhere in the world. And I found it's really important. You get in the boat, you talk to them, you get a plan how to hand the rods off, and that's so key, because it's I would call it like organized chaos, because you at any moment you could have a bonefish, you could have a permit, or you could have a tarpon. You don't know.
Yes.
And you have to be the guide on the platform is calling out the instructions, and the guide that's with you is helping you keep an eye on the fish, but also at the same time he's giving you your tarpon rod, and you're handing him your permit rod, so
From left to right.
and
Yeah.
and you get organized. And it's, at first when you start changing rods, you think, oh, the lines and the rods, and I'm so confused, and then it just becomes like fluid, you know. And I've not really experienced that much anywhere else in the world, and it's truly an amazing way to be able to target the fish. And it makes good sense, because it almost seemed every time I had my permit rod in my hand,
Yeah.
a tarpon would show up.
See.
And then every time you have a tarpon rod in your hand, a permit swims by.
Yeah.
I mean, it's they have no respect for what rod you have in your hand.
See it, buddy?
No.
Yeah, go left. Do that. Good one. Straight. Long and fast.
I want to say something that is in communication.
Yes.
Both guide and guide on the boat, they speak perfect English.
Yep.
And that helps a lot. I mean, when fishing. So
Yeah.
that is like a great asset, I mean, to have on a boat. And also the guides that we have are very experienced guides. They know the waters, and
Yeah.
anyway, that also helps a lot. Yeah.
It's very interesting. And the other thing that I would say is super important is I don't think people realize, yes, you can go target bonefish. There's lots of other species to target, but as you can see right now, the wind blows down here, and you need to practice your casting before you get down here. You cannot
sure.
just show up,
For sure.
pull your new rod out of a bag, and think you're going to get out there.
Yes.
I mean, today we were seeing a lot of fish. We were seeing a lot of tarpon today, but we were casting to them in maybe a 20-25 mile an hour wind,
Yes.
which they liked,
Yeah.
and enabled us to get a little bit closer to them. But if you couldn't double haul, or if you couldn't backhand cast, I was sharing a boat with our photographer Nick Swingle today, and he was casting, and he had a backhand cast. I'm not kidding you, he was putting out 80 feet of line on a backhand cast, and I watched him cast for 5 or 10 minutes, and then figured out the line distance to have out and the motions, and I started mimicking that, and I got my backhand cast. But if you don't have those skills, you'll catch fish, but you're going to work a lot harder than if you do have them.
A lot of anglers come to Ascension Bay for the permit, especially, and this is a fishery where you can catch bones, you can catch permit, you can catch tarpon, you can catch baby tarpon, migratory tarpon, and snook. Okay, and a good strategy along the week is probably starting getting, a
little warm up.
point, warm up, like
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yes.
with bonefish and
Yep.
go from less to more.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
do not get overexcited by trying to catch the permit on the first day whatsoever. I
Yep.
mean, you're going to have a week. This is an area that has great flats, so there is great wading on hard bottom, and yes, I think the right way to go is from less to more, starting wading, seeing the fish, getting the feeling of the double calling, getting the fly where it is, and then moving forward to permit or tarpon or whatever. But
We have the big migratory tarpon here right now, and I feel like I had a 7 weight for bonefish, I had a 9 weight for permit, I had a 10 for baby tarpon, and I actually have a 12 for the big guys, and I actually feel like I'm very well equipped. I mean, I think I'm just thinking if there was something I could leave home, I don't think I would leave any of those home.
You need to bring everything.
Yes.
See.
You're only allowed to bring 4 rods in, but I think I brought the right 4 rods.
Yeah.
And of course you guys got loaner gear, so that's nice because we did manage to blow up the owner of Frontiers 10 weight yesterday on a very large tarpon. So it
See.
died with dignity, that rod.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but this place is cool, man.
It is. It's a small.
You take
Lodge.
off your shoes,
Yeah.
kick around. The staff is unbelievable, super friendly. We know a lot of them from South America. The food has been super remarkable. We have a guy who doesn't eat fish in the group, and sometimes when you don't eat what's on the menu, your meal might suffer a little bit. His meals have been absolutely fantastic looking for the last couple of nights.
Yes.
So he's been super happy. It's been cool, man.
It's been
fun.
cool. Yeah, it is fun, and yeah.
So we got to figure out where we'll do this next in the world. Eh?